Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of High Top Sports. Steve and Chad, you beautiful son of a gun. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, my man, it is so good to see you again. How are you today, sir?
I'm feeling pretty good. Listen, I'm not quite sure what we're going to talk about. It was kind of a quiet weekend.
Nothing went on. There was nothing keeping us entertained. There was really nothing to see here.
I feel like we've played this skit before, but this weekend was absolutely insane.
Amazing.
Absolutely insane. Man, it was a great weekend for football. Not to mention, not just NFL, but a great weekend for...
Scared money don't make money, you know?
It's got to be Holly's favorite sound at this point. It's Scared money don't make money. Billy Napier and the Gators were back at it again. It was busy. We have a lot to go over, so sit tight, sit back, relax. We've got some stuff to go over. First thing first, we had about a half a dozen visits this weekend, ranging from 2022 graduates all the way to 2023. We're not getting too much into 2023. That's a lot. We've seen just this year how many people are committing and decommitting all within a matter of 30 days. So the 2023 commits is just more excitement than anything, but we've got enough right now that we're going to just cover that stuff.
You got ammo here. At this point, Billy's doing Billy things, and look, the guy looks like he has a plan. And look, for an FSU fan, it's the worst thing ever. You don't want to see it. I don't want to watch it. I like what's happening if I'm wearing orange and blue, but for the garnet and gold, this guy seems to be executing pretty well. So far for Florida fans, so good. But that's okay. FSU's keeping up in the back end.
So Max Brown, a 3-star quarterback, he decommitted from Central Michigan yesterday and committed to Florida. So that was pretty exciting news. Not a huge splash, but definitely adding some more flavor to the room, right? Adding a little more depth to the room. We were kind of talking about a little bit about the 2017 class. They have now basically come to completion. And what I mean by that is they've either all graduated or are now playing in the NFL. So we want to take a little trip down memory lane here. And what's crazy to see is that what a lot of people are saying is that, look, these 5-star, these 4-star recruits, they're all highly recruited, but how many of these guys actually pan out? And I want to say it was either the top 3 or top 4 quarterbacks from the 2017 class. I don't even know who the hell they are. They're like irrelevant. One of them was a kid, I can't remember his name, pretty boy, was huge in Ohio State, went to Miami, stuck to Miami, then went to California and basically kind of just fills it out. Had a few hot girlfriends from here and there. Really wish I could remember his name right now. But again, it just kind of shows that we're getting excited about these recruits, but not everything pans out. So I
remember that kid. His sister ended up being like an Instagram something or other, like whatever they call those, an influencer, and and she might have been smoking hot. So I do kind of vaguely remember that kid.
So my point to that is, like, look, Max Brown, not a huge splash, only a 3-star recruit, but it's good to have somebody in there to add some more competition to the room, to add some depth. And so now it's just, again, adding more to the flavor. The other thing is we have a tight end commit, another 3-star tight end. Hayden Harrison, I believe is his name. Hayden Hansen, 3-star. He's 6'5", 250. Guy's an absolute tank. So stud moving in. Again, we're making some moves, getting some kids to sign some big dudes, so we're excited about that. The visits I want to talk about, we had a 5-star visit this weekend. Jacoby Matthews, who is ranked 5th in the safety class for 2022. It's kind of a silent visit, but again, it's just good to see these 5 stars rolling through the swamp and getting their visits and getting that blood flowing. And the reason why that's huge is because we've got some shakeup going on, got some news happening, and that moves us into this 4- and 5-star recruits that are looking like Florida might be a top spot. So not this weekend, but 2 weekends ago, we talked about we had 3 major visits. One being Miguel Mitchell, who signed with Florida, right? Verbally committed. I think he's all in. I don't think he's even gone anywhere else. The other one was Harold Perkins, who is a 5-star recruit who was committed to Texas A&M when he visited us. Decommitted today.
Decommitted from Texas A&M, which, again, hats off to Florida for being able to get this kid to flip. But my goodness, does Texas A&M have any space left in a class? It feels like they went to the moon and got every kid that they possibly wanted.
Yeah, 8 or 9 or 7 5-star recruits. It's insane. But he has decommitted, and he's visiting LSU, but he decommitted after visiting Florida with Miguel Mitchell, right? And he visits LSU later on. And then the other one is Arlos Boardingham. He is a 4-star wide receiver / tight end. Gives me a little bit of Kyle Pitt vibes. He's down to 2 schools, Florida and Oregon. All right. So what is we got some comments. We've been missing them.
I saw him, but I was like, what am I supposed to tell you?
I didn't even see him. We'll address this in a minute. So basically, Florida and Oregon, what's been great is, though, all of the coaches have been visiting Arlos individually, going to him, meeting with him. Tight end coaches, wide receiver coaches are going out to see him. I think that's going to be a huge pull. And again, they all visited the same weekend together. Not saying there was a pact made while they were there, but things are looking pretty solid. We can pull those 3 in. It's gonna be pretty exciting. I'm pumped for those 3.
Look, there's one thing I will say, and this is from watching recruiting patterns for a long time, is that, look, you've got some weeks where the kids coming in, like, there's less of them and the quality is less. There's a reason that you want to bring in those 4- and 5-star kids together. You pack them in, you put them together in for a weekend, and you let them build that own, like, camaraderie. They start to make promises. They start to make commitments to one another. Like, I'm coming here if you're coming here, and that's it. It just the momentum that comes with those core, like, 4- or 5-star kids that come in together on a recruiting trip. Because look, like you just said, they're all going to shotgun and go different places at different times.
Sure.
But having them all in there together, getting the coaches in their ear, getting them in each other's ear, it's a great strategy. It's worked for a long time. To have those kids in there together, that could very well be something that just makes the domino effect fall next.
That's a solid point, Steve, and to about how they come together. And again, they didn't bring them all, like, they're all different positions, right? So they're not going to come in kind of competing with one another, but they'll come and they'll chit chat, like you said, say, hey, let's win here. We all come here together. We're gonna kick ass and take names. Yep. And they're gonna look around and say, hey, there's a lot of talent right here right now all together, like you said. So bringing them in kind of in waves is definitely a good move. I think we keep praising the Napier train. I think that's just one more thing that he's doing well. Muddy Waters here made a little comment saying that I don't like that color there, but he says, hope the rumors of LSU and Harold's uncle making a deal isn't true. I haven't heard about that, but I would hope that isn't the case. Again, he decommitted today without even visiting LSU. Now that could be meaning they made a deal and he's like, hey, I'm coming there and that's going to be it. Or he felt good with what happened in Florida. So,
sure. And just to point something out real fast, Oregon, they have amazing facilities. It's a beautiful state. But right now they are sitting at 63 in the country in total recruit rankings. They've only got 11 committed recruits. Now, I know we have another signing day, the second signing day.
February 2nd.
Yes, yeah, but they're not looking like they've got a lot of momentum. They just went through a coaching change as well. This could be a situation where Florida's really just poised to come in there and surprise some folks.
Yeah, that's a good point. LSU hasn't done a great job of landing some big stars. There's another guy we're going to talk about a little bit later on who's shown a little bit his social media has showed some more love towards the LSU. So maybe they got a late pull happening, but early on they haven't made as much of a splash as you would think. So that's good. That's good news for Florida. So the next thing we want to talk about, we talked a little bit about this last time. We made some errors. We're losing some guys in the running back room, so we wanted to bring that back up and rehash that situation here. So what the room is looking like for Florida right now is Naquan Wright. He's coming back. He had an ankle injury, but he showed some great flashes last year. Hopefully that ankle injury doesn't have any kind of lasting effect on him. I don't think that it will, but it's always something to kind of keep in mind. It's a young room, but it's an exciting room. The two big moves that I think are going to have an impact with Naquan are going to be DeMarcus Bowman and Lorenzo Lingard. Bowman was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, as was Lingard. Bowman got stolen from Clemson. Dan Mullen actually did that, so props to old Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan. The little going-away gift. And then Lingard is from Miami. So, again, I've watched a few highlights of Bowman in high school. The kid's quick. They're kind of little. They're short. They're thick, but they're a little short and stout, I guess you can say. But they are quick, my guy. So those three guys are definitely coming. What I'm excited though is that the two the two big guys that we're looking at, and that's Jordan James, who is a hard commit on Georgia right now, a hard commit. But he is visiting Florida this weekend and could have a good flip there. So Florida has moved into the second spot. Go ahead.
Speaking of one, Mr. Max Brown.
Talk to me.
He is committed.
He is, yeah. He committed today.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about, the three-star commitment.
He's 100% in, but still, like, I mean, that's again, it's just sometimes it's those three-star kids that don't feel like they're the highest priority. That
like Stetson Bennett, little chip on the shoulder.
It's just always little by little you're picking up momentum, and that's a big one. I mean, that's just a couple hours old. So well done by Billy.
It's getting the news out, right? It's just people saying, like, what's going down there in Florida? I want to go see what's happening. Why are all these kids going? So, again, it's not a huge splash, like I said, but it is splash nonetheless. So, Jordan James, that's going to be a huge one. Trevante Citizen, that's the one on the social media. He's down between Florida, Auburn, and LSU. His social media, he's shown some more love with them. He's got some posts with them in his gear. Obviously, when they go, they kind of take some pictures of him and stuff like that. He didn't have much of Florida. He shared Trevor Etienne's post, and again, that could feel almost a little bit of threatening. Like, he's already going there. There's already a big star going there. I don't want to compete with that. So I don't think he's going to happen. But he's 6 foot 217. The other running backs don't even break the 200. This guy is an absolute tank. So if he were to come in, it'd be just a great addition to an almost well-rounded running back team. It's a young team. But right now, it looks to be a good three-headed monster. From what again, it's all just perspective here of what it could be. Sure.
Look, and look, the stars next to your name. You certainly love that momentum. You certainly love getting those kids. It's such a crapshoot on how the transition. I would be willing to say, not even based on volume, but just based on the randomness of some of the recruiting logic. Getting a 5-star or a 4-star kid in college has more probability of a bust potentially than the NFL in the NFL draft. And it just feels like the NFL draft misses on more first and second round draft picks than they get it right sometimes. But look, these are kids. It's great to get them. My goodness, I hope they all just go out there and just ball out. But yeah, now you play the waiting game.
Yeah, it's a lot. These kids are all 4-stars. They're all playing in high school, and they come and it's a whole new world when they come to college. So they're open to a whole new life, and that has a huge impact. That's why these 3-stars come out and play, because they're coming to play for a spot. They don't have an ego coming into it, and I think that's why these 3-stars are also just as important as these 4 and 5 stars. The 4 and 5s are good for media, and again, obviously they're 4-stars, so they're good, but all of it's good. We've got a little debate going on here with Muddy Waters and Bork. Seems like there's a bromance happening in the comments.
Oh boy, just a budding relationship.
Little love here. I love it. Guys talking about little Gator basketball. Mike White. I love it. It's exciting. Gator basketball's doing well right now. We're kind of a little tear. I mean, we got a little easy streak, so we shouldn't be losing any. But
we'll see on the opposite side of that.
Go ahead, Steve.
Look,
get it off your chest.
Florida State has won 5 of their last 5 games. That would be against Miami, who was number 1 in the conference. Duke, and obviously like a good win against Syracuse. So this is not a lay down portion.
I would love for both Florida teams to have some run in the tournament. That would be fun. That'd be fun for both of us. I think it'd be good for the show for sure.
Agreed.
The next thing I want to hop into, again, a lot of Gator talk. Steve loves it. But this is a fun one. You can take your shot here. I'm opening the door for you, Steve, to have some fun. Because Billy Napier, look, he's building a foundation. He's been having a little bit of creativity. He's spicing things up a little bit. I want to get your thoughts on this. Where's your play on this? He has a new role. It's not a new role, but it's a new name. It's called Game Changer Coordinator, which is basically the special teams coach. But he changed the name to this.
Okay, so when I hear Game Changer Coordinator, I think back to when Alabama and Clemson, I want to say Florida had one. I know FSU had a guy, but there were these guys whose only job was to latch on to the back of the offensive or defensive coordinator and not let him get out onto the field. They reel him back in, and they had to pull him back. And I feel like that's kind of what this is. Like, he's the game changer coordinator. Like, What does that do?
Special teams. It's just a special teams coach.
It's
Do you like the name? Do you think it's dumb? I want to know your thoughts. Take your shot. This is your opportunity.
I don't understand how it makes any sense at all. I don't like it. Just doesn't. It doesn't do anything for me.
Okay, that's perfect. I was hoping you would. I'm sure there's gonna be some people that hate on it, think it's stupid, think it's over the top. Here's why I love it. Okay, and why I like it. And I thought about it, and I was gonna hate on it, and then I took a step back, and I said, look, we have some college kids here, right? And it's like playing outfield and t-ball. Nobody wants to play in the outfield and t-ball. Right? It absolutely sucks.
It's a good analogy.
You want to pitch, play first, play shortstop, catch. You'll take third base.
Get the hot corner. Yep.
Right? You'll take anything in the infield because it's exciting and you're in the action and you're up front. Special teams like the outfield in t-ball, right? Like it's not exciting. Like nobody's dying to play special teams. Now again, I know they're kind of using guys for multiple times, but there is some guys that are just special team. That's their thing. And that's kind of their moment to shine. So to give that coach the game changer coordinator, it puts emphasis like, hey, this is an important part of the game. We can change the game. The Niners won on a special teams turnover. That was the only touchdown they scored.
That was it.
That's true. I like it. I think it fit. It would be stupid in the NFL. It's a gamified type of situation.
You won't get anybody's attention there. They're too mature. They've been around the game for too long. But for a younger team, especially with the amount of talent that we're talking about, Mike White bringing in, something with this type of name could have some traction to it.
Wrong sport.
But you know what I'm talking about. Like it just has a little bit of a feel to it. And like what this guy does, it's not just going to be special teams. I have to imagine that there's more to it. You don't get this kind of title. This is a massive title.
It's just special teams.
Game-changing coordinator.
From what I read, it's just special teams. It's a little cheesy, but I like it. I think it's impactful. If he did it to every position, I think it'd be overused. But it puts emphasis on, hey, this is important, and that's why I like it. I love it. And it was your opportunity to roast. I think I had a pretty good argument to put in defense.
We have the ball coordinator. We don't have the ball coordinator. You can really call him anything you want. It's a strange thing. We'll see if it goes off. Look, there have been teams like you just mentioned, the 49ers, Vatek back in the days. Like these were teams that just dominated on special teams. Like every time you kicked the dang ball or tried to line up to kick the dang ball, they just snatch it right off of you, and they would just win games in some of the oddest ways. And a lot of those were special teams. It's just a little quirky. But hey, look, we'll see if they come out there and they change the game on special teams and they steal a win or two. Be like, hey, I knew what I was doing. If not, it's like, well, okay, sweet. So you're like a DJ.
Steve, it's your time to shine. Clock in here. Muddy Waters. Why is the color blue? Random, but I really want to see FSU play Jackson State. Prime and Hunter versus FSU. What is it? FCSU? If Jackson State can beat them, I bet Jackson State could. And then somebody else, the Mellow Man, said Jackson State isn't interested. Sorry. Hey, defend your honor.
The check bounced. They're not coming back.
The check bounced. I love it. I had to show that, Steve. I'm sorry.
That's not good. I love the fact that these guys are chiming in. Like FSU got their nuts kicked up to their ears. That was a terrible loss. Shouldn't have happened. It did. And now I understand what happens. Like that was our Georgia Southern. So
the Mellow Man. Plenty of other stuff to worry about.
Thanks, Mello. I appreciate that.
I think he's talking about Jackson State. And then we got
maybe
Muddy Waters showing some love to Max Brown. Saw his tape and can't believe only Florida and Washington wanted him from Division I. So love that. I didn't see too much of a videotape of Matt Brown, but Muddy Waters, thanks for your input on that. Look, we've been taking that. We love the 3-star. I think it's going to be a great addition to the quarterback room. And we've already mentioned we were huge fans of the quarterback room, and I think this is just one more step to building the depth and making that a little bit stronger. So good stuff there. Moving on a little bit into some NFL. So we had a little bit of a battle this weekend, and we'll get into the battle. It was all the games were insane. 3 of the 4 were walk-offs, essentially, with field goal kicks. Real quick, one of those walk-offs?
Scared money don't make money, you know?
Was the man himself, the GOAT, Evan McPherson, old Gator boy. Did you Steve?
Oh my gosh.
Let me hear, Steve. Can I have a moment? Can I?
You've already had a moment. It's been going on for about 90 minutes now. But go on with your moment, Shelton.
It's only been 19 minutes. So I don't know if you know, the Bengals play the Titans this weekend. Joe's the man. All right, just letting you guys know. Joe drove down the field. No time left. 3 seconds left on the clock. He's walking off. Oh, Evan's walking on. Evan goes, "Hey, Joe, you ready to play in the AFC Championship?" He didn't even made it yet. It was like a 50-yarder too. Just dialed, bro. Wasn't even sweating. That's BDE right there, big dog.
Like, let's say, yeah, oh, for sure. Like I love the swagger. I love the confidence. I'm looking up his stats.
Look, McPherson bought out.
33.
33?
28 made 33 out of 33 attempts.
Out of 30. I thought you said the yards are 28. I was like, yeah, but it felt like 50, so it don't matter. You know, it's like a temperature. 33 feels like 6. Look.
It's a cold wet. Okay, it's a wet cold.
Look at this. Evan is freaking amazing. Find another kicker that would say something like that. That's what I'm saying, bro. That guy's built different.
Sebastian Janikowski.
Oh my! Here we go. No,
he basically did it to Florida. He did it to Florida. He kicked the ball like a country mile after we scored in Gainesville. And then they gave him like a 15-yard penalty because he did the Gator chomp. So he lines up 15 yards back and he launches it deeper into the stands. Like, I mean, the guy's just like, ah.
Steve, that was like 85. Like nobody even was – you were like, what, 36 then?
It's 92.
I was close. So the question we have at hand, because again, there's a lot of closeness. One of the games went into overtime. Absolute mayhem. The question is, should the NFL change their overtime rules? It has been all over the news today. It got brought up a little bit last year when Brady did it to Mahomes, or 2 years ago, I believe. And now we're talking about it again. And I think why everyone's a little more talking about it is because the Bills, everyone loves Josh. They wanted to see Josh get it done, and now he's hurting. So the question is, Steve, should they change it, or is what it is and it should stay?
Look, I mean, they had to tweak it because there was just too many games lost by essentially winning the coin toss, right? I mean, you've got field goal kickers, especially when Elam was around from the Denver Broncos. I want to say he had the longest field goal, and that was like 56 yards, which means, look, you kick the ball off, you only get about, 35 yards to defend from a defensive standpoint before you put somebody who's just kicking these missiles to the moon in field goal range. It was a horrible platform. They did make the change too. If the receiving team only kicks a field goal, that the other team gets a shot, but it just still doesn't make any sense to me. Like, again, it comes down to a coin toss to determine who's going to have a major advantage. And in the case of Kansas City, you get the ball first at home. Like,
after you just did what you did, it was as I'm saying, it was
so
a lot.
Much momentum going.
It was a lot. They drove down the field.
And you're not even going to give the other team a shot to have the ball. Look, I'm not saying to eliminate any portion of the game itself. There should still be special teams for kickoffs to see maybe you get a kickoff return.
Yeah, so you're not saying to go towards the college route where it's just
not quite that bad. But you should at least as a team who lost a coin toss to get a shot to get your hands on that ball and to take that away entirely, especially considering the back and forth that was going on with those offenses. Neither one could stop each other from anything. So it would have been good to see, the Bills get that ball. They
rolled the new rules out originally a few years ago. It was when a great quarterback named Tebow. I believe it was his first year. But they rolled it out in the playoffs. So the regular season didn't have this rule, but the playoffs did. Well, if the team gets a second chance if they score a touchdown. So to me, I feel like it should only be a playoff thing. I think regular season you can leave it as it is. If they score a touchdown and just kind of end it. Right? To me, that's okay. But playoffs, because especially
this is the end. This isn't like a situation where you still have some battle left in you.
Exactly.
You got to go and you're going to keep fighting.
You can make the argument. You had 4 quarters. You should have won it then. This game, it wasn't one of those. Right? To be fair, if Tampa and Tom, right, if that game goes to overtime, they win that game because the momentum had completely swung the opposite direction. They win that coin toss, Tom's going down at scoring. And I feel like that would kind of be a ripoff to the Rams, who played a great game. I mean, it didn't happen. But, again, either way, it has to change.
Because somebody apparently can't cover Cooper Kupp.
Oh, my God, bro. Unbelievable. Let's see. We got some suggestions here. We got 2 suggestions. We'll go to Muddy. Well, first one. This one's my favorite one. Rock, paper, scissors instead of the coin toss. Yeah. Absolutely. The next one, if the NLT or if the NFL's OT was the same as college football, then they would still be playing. We talked about that in the precast. Is it's too much. It'd be too many scoring, but I definitely think they need an opportunity each. And at that point, it's sudden death.
The one thing I will say, and you and I talked about this a little bit on the precast, is where college made the mistake of going into both teams get the ball and both teams get to try to score. Ooh. But it just kept going on and on and on. Now they have the rule where it has to go for 2 after, I want to say, your first or second possession. I think the NFL should give both teams an opportunity to have the ball, but you must go for 2 even on the first possession in overtime. So it just adds that one extra thing, because the 2-point conversion, just the conversion percentage is significantly lower than hitting an extra point. It's just one more caveat to turning up the heat in an overtime game.
So Airedale 05, and I actually like this, and Ryan agrees as well. My suggestion is that the NFL adopts the college OT rule with one modification. Each team starts at midfield, so they have to at least move the ball a little bit to try a field goal. I like that. I like it. Adds a little flavor to it. I don't hate it.
I would say do that after maybe the third possession, right? So you get one natural possession where both teams kick off.
Now you're just making
your second. Yeah, well, then your second possession. It's just look. We just lost a playoff game.
I think we can all agree
amazing football.
that it needs to evolve. It begs the question of why we're keeping it, right? Like, what's the value of keeping it? And it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I guess other hockey, soccer, they're sudden death, but it's a little bit different, right? Because you're constantly changing possessions, so that's not the same thing at all. It is a sudden death situation, but again, it's not. Even in soccer, you can start with the ball, but it's very easy to turn the ball back over. It's not like you know what I mean? Like, you're not controlling the possession. Same thing with hockey. So I think those 2 sports, they stay the way they are. Those are exciting.
What if we just went to straight 2-point conversions? That's it. Everybody lines up for a 2-point conversion. It's almost like a shootout in hockey. It's like a shootout in soccer. No, we're not. We're done moving the ball up and down the field.
Just right here. Just you get one shot from the 25. That's a lot of moving around.
2-point conversions, and that's it. No. I'm not even saying the ball at 25. I'm saying you put the ball at the 2, and we just 2-point conversion this thing until it's done.
That would be kind of fun to watch. I mean, that would
be amazing fun, right? It's like we're taking the greatest ending to 2 sports, which, you know, the shootout in hockey, the shootout in soccer, and now you're just putting 2 teams within, you know, 6 feet of the end zone.
I don't hate it.
Let's just get nasty. Start it that way.
We had a futuristic look this past weekend into the new Brady versus Manning, the rivalry that we all you lived with, I grew up with. It was fun to watch. We haven't really had it. Rodgers and Brady have had a little bit. Brady's kind of had it with, I feel like, everybody. But Josh and Mahomes this weekend really brought it home of we're going to be battling each other for a very long time. I feel like these 2 teams are going to meet at this helm for time. I think Joe's going to throw his hat in the name. It's kind of like we're in the Peyton, Aaron, and Tom, these 3 and Drew Brees, right? These young quarterbacks are starting to make a name for themselves. And 3 of the 4 quarterbacks that are playing that are left have never won a Super Bowl. So it's looking to be that we have a new. I was really hoping that Josh would win, because then we would have a new quarterback win the entire thing. But we're starting to see the shift. People have been talking about it for a while. I haven't been bought in. I'm still riding the Brady, the Twom train and the Rodgers train. But I think this year really let us know that, hey, because he's older, but he's not old like Rodgers and Tom old. He's only 33. He's kind of right in the middle of that. Drew Brees won his first Super Bowl at 33. So he's right in that pack where he could start, you know what I mean? Like, he's almost at the end of his prime, but he's got a couple good years left. Rams are going to be nasty for a little bit, honestly. So I think that the newfound era is happening with the quarterbacks.
You're such a kid. I love how like your look back at college at NFL football is
Sorry,
Peyton
Steve.
and,
What do you want me to
and
do?
Brady. I mean, look, you've had uh, Troy Aikman going against Steve out in
Steve.
San Fran. Yeah, yeah. And, I mean,
Steve.
look, you had these iconic quarterbacks going at one another. You've had you know. Out in Buffalo. They used to go against Miami every year. You know, Marino would just go up against these Bernie Kosars of football, and like so like this is a thing. It's fun to watch, but there's
So
definitely becoming a transition in the
you've seen what you're saying here is you've seen multiple transitions happen. You've been around a while. You've seen a few. So this is like my first real. I'm watching, the guys that I grew up with leave the game, and I'm getting to see the new guys come in and take over the game. That's kind of where I'm at, right, in my sports career. This is like your 9th time seeing this. So you're not as excited as I am, but it's cool for me. I'm just going to throw in darts. Steve's like, Jesus. Steve's like, this is so fun. I'm so glad I came here tonight.
this is why I'm here, people. Is for you.
Here we go. Let's see what Muddy Waters says. This is our guy tonight. I honestly think that Brady-Manning matchup will be Burrow and Mahomes. I think so. Burrow is fearless and plays behind FSU's trash. I'm like, yes!
The hell does that even mean?
It doesn't matter.
I don't even know what that
Imagine if
means.
he had a real one rooting for the Bengals. We all are, Muddy. We all are. This guy
We
is
picked him to
just,
go deep.
hey, Muddy Waters is winning people's hearts, okay? That's the guy right there. That's the MVP. I'm already calling it for the night for the comments. But yeah, I think Burrow is an absolute beast. Josh is great too. I think that's a great solid team. It's gonna be fun. Again, we are a really cool time to what's happening. It's exciting to see. But yeah, anything else on that, Stevie?
No, I think we've covered it, and thank you, Muddy, for just another kick in the nuts tonight. It's fantastic for me.
This is the greatest show on television, I swear. All right, we got a little thing going on.
Who's
Jimmy
next?
G. Who's next? Anybody say who's up? Jimmy G here. We talked about it a little bit. He looked like dog shit, and I love Jimmy. I want some money off
Not
of.
not to the eyes, but if you're
Oh,
watching
dude, he is
football-
gorgeous. I couldn't talk enough this weekend. How like he looks phenomenal out there. I think it's what encouraged the team and Robbie Gould to kick that field goal to get it done. It's cold out there, dude. It was like for example, back to what we said. It was 10 degrees. It felt like 1. It was absolutely real quick. Muddy Water said something. I got to bring him back on. FSU's O-line resembles the Bengals. You see FSU quarterback run for their lives. All right, I'm sorry. Anyways, so Jimmy G, is he going to get traded? He was like 2 for 3, I think, for 47 yards. He looked awful. And again, they run the ball a lot as it is, but he did not look good at all. And it was already talks before this. I don't think he's going to get into the Super Bowl. I think the Rams are too good, and I don't think he's selling himself enough during this playoffs. They did okay. He did okay during the Cowboys. Again, their defense is stupid good. Do I think Trey Lance is the answer? No, but they're not sold on Jimmy like I am. Where's Jimmy end up? Where does he go?
Look, there's going to be a lot of options, but I don't think San Francisco is the place that he's suiting up next year. Look, if you look at Jimmy G in the Super Bowl just a couple of years ago, he didn't have a good year that year either. They went back. Shanahan went back and almost kind of hit the reset button on the loss when he was the offensive coordinator in Atlanta.
This is why Trey got drafted, because there wasn't a lot of faith.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, Atlanta was up 28-3, and they had a running back. I won't say where he went to school, but he was going bananas in the first half. And then in the second half, they came out and they only ran the ball, I want to say 3 or 5 times. So I think that resonated with him because he got to the Super Bowl, and did he have a great running back stable? He absolutely did. But he got to the Super Bowl, and his offensive philosophy was so conservative that they needed Jimmy to make a play, and he just never got around to it.
That's a great point. I love Jimmy, but in a lot of this, in basketball happens a lot, right? Where in basketball, you need a guy that can get it done. You need a star guy, and I'm a Miami Heat fan, so LeBron has been that guy. Dwayne Wade was that guy, right? A lot of teams have that guy, And that's Jimmy, right? You need him to be able to step up when it's needed. He's a great game manager, just like Alex Smith was. But does he have the ability to turn it on when it's needed? And that's where his value is dropping right now. And look, I think he can go to some places and do really well. I think a place for him that could end up is the Saints.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I still keep throwing out I keep throwing the Colts out there is a potential. I don't know
Jimmy?
that they're bought into Wentz. Yes.
Oh, you're just saying you're saying the Colts are shopping.
Looking for a quarterback. Yes.
Okay, so I don't like you know what, I don't hate him there with Jonathan Taylor there. That's not a whole pick. Great. It's a carbon copy. Yeah, it's a carbon copy, not carbon copy, but a little bit of a copy of what's in San Fran. But in Indianapolis and the Saints have a better running back situation and a little bit better defense. Not better defense, but a better running back situation, which will help Jimmy, and I think they can build around that. Look, I love Jimmy. I hope he has a great career. But he's not looking good. He's not supporting my argument for him at the moment, unfortunately.
Well, look, I mean, the Green Bay defense isn't, Tampa Bay's defense or the Rams defense. Those two teams, for the Rams and the Buccaneers to put up a combined 57 points with the level of defenses that those two teams have played all year. And then now I understand that weather was a factor. Don't get me wrong, but
sure.
To only go out there and the only touchdown that you can put on the board as a quarterback is a punt block.
Yeah,
that's not going to give you franchise.
Aaron
stats.
only scored once, to be fair.
True.
I think weather had a huge factor in that.
It was cold, but it didn't start snowing until the middle of the third quarter?
The snow didn't make a factor. It was 1 degree the entire time. I don't think the snow had an impact. Real quick, this is supporting you, Steve. I know we've been kind of kicking you in the nuts tonight, and we've enjoyed every minute of it. But Ant33, I think he's taking a shot here. I'm not quite sure. He says, do the Gators have a chance to win at all? Not it all, at all. Oh. So he's assuming we don't even win.
Welcome to the cast, Ant.
He's like, hey, that's my guy.
That's my dude.
That's the disrespect, Ant. Yes, they're gonna get some W's. All right, we got FSU and Fresno State. We got to play. There's 2 W's right there off the rip. So
that's true. Unfortunately,
Ryan said no, Ant. They don't, but they have a chance to go to the SEC championship. Yes, sir. Ooh, Muddy Waters, this guy. Florida has the hardest schedule in the country, but if they beat the top 10 Utah and top 15 UK, then Florida will be a top 5 team and gain momentum. Key will be AR's health. Yeah, AR. We talked about it. AR is going to be that guy. Look, don't sleep on my boy Jai Miller either. That's those little two. I think they're gonna duke it out. I think it's going to have a huge impact. I think we're going to get some W's. Let's take a minute, real quick, Steve, before we wrap everything up here. We've been getting a lot of flack lately. We've been taking some blows on the comments. People are not holding back any punches. And I just want to say something, all right? We fucking love it. To be fair, there was a few comments that hit sensitive side. I was a little zazzed up about it. I was like, drop the ad.
We had to kind of brush you off a little bit there.
But then you got to realize, look, we love it. We love the shit talk. Some of you guys were right. We look like dumbasses, and you guys needed to tell us what was going on there, and we greatly appreciated it. So, but I wanted to say,
that's why we love having these guys on the cast. Like, look, we're not the smartest, we're not the sharpest. We might be the best looking, but no, we're idiots. So yeah by all means, keep them fired off.
When we know what we're talking about, pigs will fly. But yeah, I wanted to kind of mention a little bit because I got a lot of shit for the Billy train. We've been blowing Billy, saying he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Look, keep in mind, I think he's great. Ricky, I am wearing the. Yeah, I'm wearing it. Never a doubt, boys. Never a doubt.
There it is.
So I think, look, he's doing a great job thus far, and I keep mentioning that we're excited. We got a question here, zombie player, because this is important. I think they're coming in late. They're starting to flow in here with the Gator stuff. Where do you think Harold's going? We talked about this early in the cast, but we'll answer it now, Zombie Player 100. I think Florida's a good pick. We talked about this already. For some of you that have already seen it, sorry, but I think Florida is solid for him because he decommitted today after visiting Florida just 2 weeks ago with Arliss Brodingham, as well as Miguel Mitchell. So Miguel has committed. Arlos he's between Oregon and Florida. He's making his decision Friday, I think. I think Friday. Either Friday or the 2nd. It's all pretty damn close. And Harold decommitted today. He has LSU later this week. But as you mentioned, LSU is ranked 67th in recruiting. They haven't done a great job thus far. I like him. I like him coming to Florida. I think it'll be huge if he comes to Florida.
Yeah, look, I mean, he's the number 4 overall prospect. The kid looks sharp. He's got to visit. He's from Texas. He's got to visit to Texas. But
he's down. He's down. He's down.
Just decommitted from a Texas team. So
yeah, he's down to. Well, he's still. They're still on. It's LSU, A&M, and Florida. Those are his 3.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, look, at that point, you got a 33.3333 chance of nailing this thing. I still don't think that LSU has the recruiting traction. Notre Dame has never been a recruiting machine with Kelly there. LSU itself, because there's a lot of talent in Louisiana, I think there's no other school in Louisiana. So if you are a diehard state, you love Louisiana, you don't really have a lot of options. You're going to LSU. This kid's from Texas. He's already decommitted from a Texas school, and he's looking at Florida and LSU. I don't think he has any issue leaving the state. Sure. And I don't like what LSU is really doing, considering the new coach and the traction and things like that.
Zombie Player says he goes to school with him, so he's a real deal. So that's pretty cool, pretty exciting. So we got some insider scoop, insider information there. The comments are flowing really quick. This is for you, Steve. I'm going to bring this up. You take that over. Question, how come FSU fired Taggart after 2 losing seasons, but not Norvell?
Because, look, Taggart at least inherited a team that had talent. I'm not saying that it wasn't deficient considering the level of talent we had with the national championship, but it wasn't awful. And Taggart was terribly uncoordinated with his inner office management. We had recruiting trips where he was unprepared that the player even showed up. It wasn't what was on the field as bad as it was what was off the field. And let's be honest, we need FSU. When I say we need fundraising. We need boosters. Taggart lost the fans. Mike Norvell has not lost the fans. Mike Norvell's hiring has been good. His recruiting has been strong. He has an offense that, don't get me wrong, trips over itself from time to time, but he didn't get what Taggart started with.
You know what? Hold on real quick. Just to cut you off. I love where you're headed with this. The only thing that I would say Norvell should do is he should name his special teams coach game changer coordinator, because then maybe they'd be able to get the kickoff. That's all I had to say.
We can't do that.
Continue.
We can't do that. Gainesville already took that, so we can't do that.
This is the Steve I love. That was Steve. Steve fucking buckled today. He goes, "It's my time, baby." I agree with you. I love.
Here to shine.
I agree with the Norvell. I think it's just a feel. I'm not as in depth with FSU as you are, but watching on the field, watching how Norvell carries himself on the sideline, how the players react to him. Right. I think he's a good players coach. It just seemed FSU, even though they sucked, it was a good kind of suck last year, if that makes sense. Not taking a shot here. Like Florida sucked and it was a bad suck. So I can go back and forth there. I think FSU was a growing suck, and they showed some growth in a unique way. But I agree with you. We got a lot of comments. Let's move on here. We got Brian Boyette. He says, as an UGA fan, the biggest knock on Florida was recruiting, period. They will be more competitive in the next couple of years with recruiting alone. Add some decent coaching, and that talent level rises.
I agree with Brian wholeheartedly.
That. Look, I think Brian is in a very good place right now as past champion, so he can be humble about it. So we appreciate the comment and the love, my man. we love it. Muddy Waters. I hope Muddy Waters is all over it tonight. I love it.
He came in hot.
He did. I hope Florida is using their new D-line coach to recruit Harold, because he's flipping recruited and coached Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is a stud. I don't know if you know, but Dallas' defense is really good. I would say so good they could win you a fantasy football championship. My bad, Steve. My bad. Yes, Micah Parsons. I love that. I wasn't aware of that. Muddy Waters. That's awesome. Ooh, Zombie Player 100. Here we go. Inside. I'd be seeing him wearing Florida gear a lot. I like it. Now, granted, he just got finishing visiting Florida, so he has a lot of swagger left over. But I'm here for it. That's some cool news, Zombie Player. Look, we got an inside scoop, ladies and gentlemen.
Zombie Player's on it. Like he's done his research for tonight.
Yeah.
He spent more time on the precast than we did.
Coming in with some stuff. Oh, Muddy Waters taking a shot here. Game changer coordinator. What's next? Gatorade nutrition's coordinator. Listen, man, we talked about that. There's no hate on it. All right, we like it. I agree. Too many names, we get sloppy. But right now, I like.
You come in, and you win a game or two with special teams just being balls out, and you won't question the stupid name. You'll just be like, this guy is a genius, and
right?
we're hitching our ride. Now, look, you come out and you miss 3 or 4 field goals that lose you a game, and you're like, this guy's an idiot, and what the hell is this stupid thing?
Yeah, I like it. I talked about it already. I think it's a great move, but fun jab there, Muddy. Zombie Player, have you seen Connor Wayman coming out of Bridgeland? Absolute stud. I haven't. Wife just walks right through the stream there. Doesn't even have any. Oh yeah, let's go back through it because the first time wasn't good enough. Let's just roll right back through it there. Yeah. Just zero regards of what's happening here. Like we're not shooting or anything. She's trying to be all like quiet, just powers through. Oh man. Let's talk hockey. You're out of your mind, Ryan Bork. We don't even know what we're talking about in hockey. They don't have enough teeth for us to do it.
Does he have a puck drop to watch?
It's coming up. That's the only reason why he's here. He's up waiting for that thing to go. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your comments. As always, we love them. We are here for them. It's been exciting. A great evening. We always check the shoot on Wednesdays, but I'm losing a little wisdom that day. I'm getting my wisdom teeth taken out, so we won't be able to shoot, so we wanted to get it in today. Sorry, Steve.
That's unbelievable. You losing wisdom on Wednesday means that you're just going to be even dumber. I didn't think that I thought the basement had already been met. Like we already at the floor.
The irony here, I used to do a vlog, and I did Wednesday. That's kind of, I mean, come on. And now I'm losing my wisdom on Wednesday? No? Nobody? Nothing? Just me? All right, just me. Guys, be back here next week. We're going to be here on, is next week the 2nd? Next Wednesday is February 2nd, I believe, which is, it's signing day. Maybe we can get off, Steve, and we just stream all day. And
I thought signing day was on Tuesday. Is it Wednesday?
It's Wednesday. They knew what we were doing. So we will be here on next Wednesday for a fact, probably Monday too, but Wednesday we are going to be dialed in. It's going to be hot potatoes, hopefully. Nothing but good news. Until then, guys, for High Top Sports, I'm Sheldon.
And I'm Holly.
Boogity, 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 baby.